Hi, my name is Kim and I'm currently on a 5-week road trip around Scotland. Here I spend my time walking along beautiful beaches, exploring old castle ruins, as well as just enjoying the beautiful countryside there is on offer. If you want to follow me on my adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I'll see you out there. Wonderful good morning to you all from the beautiful Isle of Mull. It's just gone past 10 o'clock, so we've had a lazy morning. But I've actually been up since 6:30, but that is because I fell asleep at about 9 o'clock last night after a very early morning the day before, and I slept like a baby. Now, breakfast is included and staying here, which is awesome, and it's a full buffet breakfast, a full Scottish hot breakfast as well as a continental spread. And one little tip always, if it's buffet breakfast, if you don't mind getting down there right when they open, you get the best, freshest food. And because that way, you know, if they do it right, you can guarantee that all the food has come out pretty recently. And yeah, I have to say I did that. I was straight down there at 7:30 this morning because I was awake anyway, and it was really nice. And have a look at this and check out the view that we have from our breakfast room. And then yeah, just chilled in my room for a bit. I had some admin to do on the laptop, so I got that all sorted, and now I'm out here. Now, I think I quickly mentioned it yesterday, but for some reason my left knee just doesn't feel completely right at the moment. It feels a lot better today than it did yesterday, but yeah, it's just I've had some injuries on it before, so sometimes I've just managed to tweak it a bit. Feels a bit weird for a few days and then it's completely back to normal again. But yeah, to make sure I'm not going too crazy, I'm just doing a nice and easy walk today. Well, actually 2 walks that I'm gonna combine just around Tobermory. So for the first part of today, we're walking out towards the Tobermory Lighthouse, and so that we don't have to do the same way in and out. On the way out, I'm staying a little bit on a higher route. Now to get up here, I literally just turned right out the front of the hotel door, and the first part here we're just gonna walk along the edge of the golf course, and then on the way back we'll be walking down along the shoreline, so it will be a different scenery. But yeah, I'm just quite nice here at the golf course. There is green and white markers just to kind of keep the walkers on the preferred course around the golf course to mostly stay out of the way of the golfers. But yeah, gotta keep my ears and eyes open. Doesn't look like to be anyone golfing at the moment. Now the weather is just glorious today. I've already taken my jacket off. I'll probably put it back on once I have a break. But yeah, when walking, it's perfectly comfortable in just a fleece, and that's just a very light wind. Ah, this is lovely. It's makes for a nice change compared to the weather that I've been having recently. Now, I know very, very little about golf. Literally pretty much nothing. Played quite a bit of mini golf as a kid, but that's about it. But this to me seems like a very hilly golf course. Because you've got a post up there. I don't know if that is a what kind of marker that is. But then you've also got like a grassy section all the way down here, and I can only imagine if your golf ball ends up down there, you're probably pretty much out of luck, because that will need a hard drive to get anywhere back up here. But yeah, no idea. But yeah, it seems very hilly. This is a wonderful path here, just through that little bit of forest that's here on the cliff edge, and there's a ferry coming in. Okay. The ferry leaves straight from Tobermory and goes across to the mainland to a town called Kilcoen. It's a turn up and go ferry, which basically means you can't pre-book your space. You can book your ticket in advance, but you basically, there is a timetable, so you basically just queue up whenever you want to go, and they'll fit as many people as possible on the ferry. Once it's full, and you'll have to wait for that next one. Not 100% decided yet, but I do think that's the ferry that I'm going to take off the island in a couple of days. There's another one, the same principle, a little bit further south. But yeah, just kind of need to decide where our next stop is, really, to figure out which one makes more sense. But obviously this one leaves straight from town, so it would be nice and easy. But yeah, we'll see. So the beautiful path that I've just come down, it's very nice, but again, this time of the year it's quite muddy. Should be a lot better in the summer, but yeah, not that great to walk on at the moment, but I've gotten well used to it. Sorry, I'm just at the little viewpoint here, and you can see the ferry that's going into Tobermory, and then out there also that is one of the bigger ones, and I don't think any ferries landing on Mull will come from that direction, so that one must be going straight through back to Oban. I wonder where that's come from. But yeah, it looks like one of the bigger ships. And so we've come from back here. Now at this point, you can see that's a little, very nice little viewpoint. We are going to continue left here towards the lighthouse. Now there's also a set of stairs here to the right. These stairs connect you back down to the path that goes along the shoreline. So for example, if you wanted to avoid the golf course, you could still do part of the route up high here, but then connect back to the lower level route, or you know, walk part way out down there, come up here, go to the lighthouse, and then return by the lower route. Whichever way you want to do that, but that's an option that you have at this point. Beautiful. So we're just on the very last bit. We're nearly out to the lighthouse. Just note this last little section is a little bit rougher going. So it has rained quite recently. It is a bit slippery. It probably would be easier going up, but yeah, you just definitely want to take this little bit quite carefully. So yeah, we've made it down to the lower path, and I do have to say, I mean, this last section here is really not great. There's a literal stream coming down with quite a lot of mud in it, so if I was wearing just trainers, I would have turned around, gone back to those stairs, and probably just walk more the lower path. But if you've got boots and stuff, as I said, it's slow going, but it's fine getting down. And yeah, let me show you the little lighthouse. Nothing really makes a lighthouse look better than the sun just shining straight down onto it. You know, with that white paint, it just yeah, looks great. So interestingly, this lighthouse here, part of it is accessed here over the stone pier, but then I don't know if I'll be able to show you. The last bit of it, basically you can see that water there. So the lighthouse is actually on a tiny island, and there we've got a bit of water. So there's a metal bridge that goes from here to the actual entrance of the lighthouse, because yeah, as I said, it's the island it's on, it's fully cut off by the water. And apparently there's, according to the sign there's only 2 lighthouses in Scotland that are connected to the mainland via a bridge like that. So yeah, a little bit different. We've seen the lighthouse, so time to head back towards Tobermory. Like I've said, I'm going to stay on this lower path this time. Once we're there, probably have a little break sitting on a bench or so, and then I'm gonna head the other direction and we'll do the second part of our walk for today. So here's where the alternative set of stairs come down. This lower path here, as I say, you're kind of right above the water and kind of in between the cliff edge, and you've got the cliffs going straight up there. It's really stunning, really beautiful, and yeah, this is definitely a path that's way more used than the one we took earlier. A lot wider, kind of a lot better maintained, let's say. But yeah, I feel like it was great having the contrast between the two. But yeah, if you're after a simple, easy walk, the lower path here is definitely what you want to do. I'm nearly back in Tobermory, and I'm just looking down at the ferry port. So you can just see the boat, it's just in a waiting position at the moment, so it's just on the side of the pier. But then down here, this is actually the so the ferry will come up to the end, lower the ramp at the back, and this is where the cars will drive on. So you can also see numbered parking bays there, basically. So you've got one line 1 till 7 and the other lines are 1 till 8 and the other one's 9 till 14. And that is because 14 cars is how many that fit onto the ferry. So once those spots are full, you're not going to make it onto the next one. And yeah, you'll be waiting for a while. And yeah, once I'm on my way back later today, so these stairs here lead back up to the Western Isle Hotel, because as you've seen from where we've had breakfast, it just sits above the bay, so we'll have to go uphill at the end. So I've sat here on this bench for quite a while now, just enjoying that sun in my face, but I think it's time for the second part of our walk, where, as I said, we're gonna head the other direction into the Aros woods. So I just put my jacket back on because this first part of the walk is through the woods in the shade, and it's nice and warm in the sun, but as soon as you kind of are in the shade, the air still got a little bit of a nip to it, but yeah, it's very, very comfortable today. Wonderful views back to Tobermory here behind me. I feel like I keep saying the same thing today, but this path is again just so beautiful. First bit was kind of more along the shore, and we've kind of just come up into a bit of this forest now. And yeah, the sun coming through. It's just a perfect little trail. It didn't even feel like that much uphill to get here, but we have climbed above the sea a fair bit, and the path is going all the way back down to the pier basically, which is fun. Also, we'll have to come all the way up this way again on the way back, but yeah, a little bit up and down is fine. So just crossed the bridge down there, and right after the bridge I turned right up the hill, because before we head down to the pier to have a proper break, I wanted to head up here to the upper falls, because that waterfall down there is pretty nice, but there's apparently an even nicer one further up here. So we'll just head up there first, then come back down, head down to the pier, and then have a nice sit down break. These upper falls are definitely higher up. We keep climbing. I've had my first glimpse of the waterfall up ahead, and it's a good one. Alright, and here we are. Have a look at this beauty. Alright, and with that it's time to head back down to the sea, because I'm definitely ready for a break. So yeah, let's head back down the path. So to get back down to the sea, I've just retraced my steps for a couple of minutes. But so we've, on the way up, I've come from that path down there, and you get back down to the bridge. But part of it is reasonably steep, not too bad, but just a little bit. And it's all very much covered in wet leaves, so it is a bit slippery. So instead of heading back down there, I'm gonna take this little road here. This one just leads to the main car park for this area, but yeah, it kind of curves back down to the sea as well. Probably slightly, just a tiny bit longer, but it's definitely going to be easier to walk on, and just a little bit of a different route. I've just stopped here on my way, walk down the road, and from here we can also see the Lochan a Guravan. And I know I keep butchering these names, but a lot of the place names here are of Gaelic origin, and their letters and words are pronounced a little bit different than in English, so I know I'm saying a lot of them wrong, but yeah, you can, so this is part of the area here, and you might be able to see there is a path that does go all the way around it, and I've also heard that's quite a nice walk. I'm not going to do it today. I feel like it'll probably be enough for me just walking back down to Tobermory at the end, but yeah, beautiful here. Also apparently part of this loch is covered in water lilies in the summer, so yeah, make sure to look out for that. But one little side trip I do have to do, so we're nearly down to the car park, but there's a little entryway up there, and I've just looked on Google and it's marked as an old walled garden, so let's have a look. Oh. This used to be a big walled garden. It does look like there's an information board up there. I'll just head that way and check it out. Right, not an information board, but apparently there was something going on where people were painting their rocks and leaving them. Looks cool. I'll try to figure out later what all of this was about. Right, let's head back to the road and then finally head down towards water. Alright, a little bit of mystery of that walled garden is lifted, why it's in this location, and that's because there used to be a big old house here, and used to stand right where this car park is now. It's raining, just a tiny little bit. Sure, it's just kind of a cloud that's gonna move through, but we're actually in a good spot. Some place for me to wait it out, because I'm not prepared. I didn't bring any of my rain gear because didn't say it was gonna rain. Alright, so I did sit here for about, I would say about 15 minutes. Rain seems to have moved through, so to get back to Tobermory we'll have to head down this way here, but we're just gonna head down here first to get down to the pier and have a look. Alright. Well, so unfortunately there's some building work going on down there, so you can't get down to the water, but we'll just take that diversion round and we'll get back over to the bridge where we turned off earlier, and then we'll get some more nice views. There's also a disc golf course here in the woods. It's a game I've never played, sport I've never played, but it does sound like fun, but quite frustrating if you're not good at it, and I'm sure it takes a while to get the hang of it. But just, yeah, a heads up here in the woods. No one's playing today, but if anyone is playing, you want to keep an eye out on those flying frisbees. And here we are back by the bridge where we turned uphill earlier. So we're gonna head back across there in a minute to make our way back to Tobermory. But from here you also have a really nice view back onto the town. I think it's time to start wandering back. So we do have that hill to climb again in front of us, and after that it should be mostly downhill. But yeah, I'm gonna take it nice and slow. I'm in no hurry at all. And yeah, I'll enjoy this stroll back. most of the uphill is done. There's a little bit more just slightly ahead, but not for a little while. But yeah, this actually felt easier than I expected. I feel like, you know, I have done a lot of walking over the last couple of weeks, of course, and it does feel like my walking fitness is definitely starting to get much better again, because my first couple of walks felt so much harder than I expected. But yeah, it's definitely getting there, and I feel like if the weather keeps halfway decent, I feel like I'm ready for some bigger hikes, and yeah, looking forward to it. The clouds are finally starting to shift off again, and the sun's come back out, which immediately makes everything look so much more summery. So I'm just back here in Tobermory, and I've actually just used the toilets in the harbour building there. It's open between 8 and 5, and it's actually great facilities. You have toilets in there, also showers and coin operated washing machines and tumble dryers. So, you know, if you're touring Scotland for a while like I am, you might want to do your laundry at some point, so having that option there is pretty nice. So it's just past 3 o'clock now, and I'm not sure it's worth for me to actually go back to the hotel before grabbing dinner. I'm wanting an early dinner, basically with breakfast being included. I am eating, or I did eat quite a big breakfast this morning, so it's kind of, I think I'll do the same in the next few days, basically a big breakfast and then an early dinner, because I'm someone, I don't eat 3 proper meals a day. It's like, it's too much food for me. I like kind of 2 big meals, and then I'm happy with just having a couple of snacks. But it also usually means, you know, mid to late afternoon, I like an early dinner. Like, I'm not gonna wait till 7, 8 o'clock to eat my second big meal. And I wanna get fish and chips from a place called Hooked. Now, they open at 4 o'clock, which is pretty like perfect time for me. I'll be happy to eat just after that, but it's just past 3 o'clock now, so is it really worth going up to the hotel and then coming back down? Obviously the hotel's up on the other side of the bay, up quite a few stairs, so by the time I get up there, I'll probably take my shoes off, have like 10-15 minutes to chill, and then I'll just be coming straight back down. And I'm not sure I can be bothered with that. So I think there's a couple of seats here, a little bit sheltered from the wind, and I might just chill here for the hour until they open. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop at the co-op as well, just to for a couple of things. So that will waste some time as well. But yeah, I want to stop at the co-op, pretty much just mainly, I think, just for a sugary fizzy drink. I might see if something else might catch my eye, but for tomorrow the weather forecast looks really great. Now, never fully trust it here, but it looks pretty good for now, and as long as the weather looks nice when I get up tomorrow morning, I am hoping to climb Ben More, which is of course the only Munro here on the island. And apparently it's not too bad of a hike. So yeah, hoping to do that tomorrow. But when I go on like a bigger hike, I like to have, next to my water, I like to have a sugary drink with me. Otherwise I'm well stocked with snacks, so I'll just throw some of those in my bag. But yeah, drink would be nice. And tomorrow morning, so it's Sunday tomorrow, shop doesn't open till 10 o'clock, so I definitely want to be gone before then. So I'll have to get what I want this morning. This evening, so yeah, I think I'll stop at the co-op, then hopefully, as I said, I'll be able to go for a climb tomorrow. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit here. I do actually have my Kindle with me because battery on my phone is getting a little bit low, so it can't just be on my phone for the whole kind of 50 minutes that I'll be waiting. But I'll pick you up again once I'll walk towards the shop. So it's not quite 4 yet, still about 20 minutes to go, but I thought it's getting a little bit chilly just sitting there, so I'm gonna wander over to the co-op really slowly, then waste some time in there before grabbing my dinner. So change of plan. So as I was walking to the co-op, it did start to drizzle a bit. It has stopped again for a moment, but I did check and look around, and there's a big old dark rain cloud coming, and it says it's going to start in about 15 minutes or so to properly chuck it down. Now, still another 15 minutes or so, or like 10 minutes until the fish and chip shop opens, but then of course it's also going to take them some time to cook it all, and by that point the rain is probably going to start coming down, so I can't be bothered with that. So I went into the co-op and just got myself a sandwich, some crisps. Oh my god, these stairs are steep. Oh yeah, because I'm not super hungry, and then I said I've got a big breakfast waiting for me tomorrow. If I get hungry, as I always have snacks and stuff, but yeah, I just couldn't be bothered getting caught out in the rain. So yeah, I'm on my way up to the hotel to just chill out for the rest of the day.